Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Well, I've been actually wanting to make this video for the last couple days. I've just been having thoughts about this and thoughts about that. Do you ever just think strange things? And then as you're driving around and you're listening to music, your mind just kind of like reels. And that's what's been happening to me the last couple days. Well, that's what happens to me always. If you watch my vlog on my Peter Vlog, my vlog on my Peter Vlogs channel, which I just finished, then you know that my mind just goes from here to there to there to everywhere. And I was actually going to do this video like laying in bed with the dogs, because it originally started with me thinking about the dogs. And I really have no idea where this is going to go, so just bear with me, please. But then I was thinking about squirrels one day, and then last night I was sitting there and I was looking up at the fern where the bird's nest is, and I was thinking about the birds. So I was like, you know, maybe I'll start doing this thing every Thursday on this channel where I do Thursday thoughts or something, where I just like make a list of just these random things that I've been thinking about in the last week, which is probably silly, but I don't really care, you know? And then I'll just kind of keep a list of the things that I've been thinking about. So here's what happened. If you watch my video from when like we got our front yard done, we found out that we had baby bunnies in our front walkway. And then as they were working on the front walkway, Tanya's son and her grandson, who were doing the walk, they noticed that the mother bunny came, and I'm like, so you guys, I don't know what happened between last summer and this summer, but between the last 2 years, and I think having become a vegetarian and things like that, I'm just so in love just with like the animal world and finding out more about it. If you follow my Instagram, you know that I'm constantly posting pictures on my story of like orangutans and monkeys and things like that. And I've just become very intrigued with the animal world. I don't know really what it is, and just seeing these little creatures and how their minds work, and just kind of watching them. And what's interesting is that the more that I've become that way, the more animals that I have noticed around our yard, and that it seems like they feel more comfortable. I don't know, it's so strange, right? So Tanya's son and grandson noticed this mother bunny was like taking each one of the little baby bunnies, and they were like this big, you guys, somewhere else. So what's so funny is today, I had to move my car when my husband left for work, and when I was like pulling my car up, I like looked over, and the mother bunny, I'm assuming it was her, was in our yard, and she had like all of this grass in her mouth, but she kept on getting more grass, and she wasn't eating it. So I have to assume she was getting it to take to the nest or wherever she keeps her baby bunnies, and then she was taking it for them, because she would go like from one place and she would just keep it like right there in her mouth. And it was the sweetest thing, and I just kept on watching her, because at one point she had this really long, like, it's not like way off camera. She had this really, I mean, it really was like this long, what do you call it? Like, it was like some like long weed from our neighbors that she had like, that had fallen down, and she had like picked up, and it was like too long for her to carry, and she kept on going like this with it, trying to get that out of her mouth without losing everything else, is what I'm assuming. And it's just like, I become so consumed looking at these little animals and stuff. And so I was thinking about the squirrels, and I was like, so we know that the bunnies had their, you know, had the mother bunny had her bunnies, or the mother rabbit had her bunnies in our little walkway there in the hostas. I don't know like if there was a nest there. We didn't see a nest or anything like that, but I was like, where do, and then I started for some reason thinking about squirrels because there's so many squirrels in our neighborhood, and, you know, I have my squirrel picnic table. And so I started thinking about it. I was like, where do squirrels, I mean, why do you never see little squirrel babies that are like that big, you know, little squirrels with little tails? I was like, why don't you ever, I don't know that I've ever seen, other than like, you know, in video clips or whatever, little squirrel babies. I also follow on Instagram Renton the squirrel. Have you guys seen him? And like, he like jumps and flies around. He's so cute. And so I follow him on Instagram. I follow quite a few animal things on Instagram. I also follow that Wolfgang guy who has like all elderly dogs that are sick. He also has a boar and a rooster. Have you guys seen it? I love his Instagram. So I was like looking up on the Google, because y'all know I love the Google. I was looking up stuff about squirrels, and the first thing I looked up was, do they have nests? And they actually do. And their nests are high up in trees. And typically they have two nests in case one of their nests gets infested with like mosquitoes or bugs, which is interesting. And they keep their squirrels there, and then they sleep actually in this nest like year-round. Like they sleep there in the window or in the winter and stuff. But I looked to see, because we like this one squirrel, I can kind of tell it's the same squirrel that comes to the squirrel table, right? And I call him Sammy the squirrel. So I was like, I wonder, like, he comes right to the window sometimes if I don't feed the squirrel table, which I haven't been doing a lot this summer. He'll sometimes come like right to the window, like of the sliding glass window. And I'm like, does he like remember me from like feeding him and stuff? So I looked, and it says squirrels are likely extremely intelligent animals that have demonstrated that they have superb memories. There are numerous well-documented instances of squirrels remembering human beings. Wild squirrels are quickly trained to keep in mind that particular individuals can be risk-free and trusted sources of food, which I love. Then it says, memory. Squirrels bury nuts in order to have access to them later, a skill that's not very helpful if they can't remember where they hid them. Squirrels have shown they are capable of remembering where they have buried nuts. And I thought, you know, that's so interesting that I have this relationship with this little squirrel that I had no clue even kind of remembered me a little bit, you know? And then I was sitting there, and after like, I love the Google, just so you know, okay? Like, I sit there and I just like Google the most random stuff. And so I was sitting there on my front porch, and when I sit there, I can see the top of my neighbor's like house. I think I showed it in a vlog. And two birds come, and one bird comes in, and the other bird she flies out, and then another bird flies in. And then I started reading all of these articles. I don't know if I still have them pulled up or not. Oh yes, I do have the article pulled up. Meet the best bird dads and learn how they help out around the nest. And so it was like this whole article about how bird dads help out with like the raising of they sometimes sit on the eggs and things like that. And I was like, I hope everything's okay with her eggs, because I haven't heard any chirping. I haven't heard any babies up there. And I think it's been past, like it says 10 days to 2 weeks is like the gestation period. And I'm like, I haven't heard any chirping or anything. Like I hope the little baby birds are okay up there. And I don't want to pull down the fern because I don't want to like disturb the nest or anything or have her not come back. So I can't see up in there, and I don't really know, you know, and I've just been leaving the fern alone. I haven't been watering it. It's going to probably die. And I'm just like, I don't care, because I want her little babies to be okay. So I was looking, and the two different birds, which it must be the mom and dad, keep on flying in and out, and it's so sweet, you guys. And then they sit on top of the house, and they just like chirp and chirp and chirp at each other. It's like one will chirp and then the other one will chirp, and I'm like, I wonder what they're saying to each other. Which somehow got me thinking about Boo and Tucker. And I was laying there in bed, and you know, I always do voices for Boo and Tucker, and I always talk to them and stuff. And my husband and I, like, one of my favorite things in the day is just to like lay down in bed at the end of the day, and Tucker plays. He's learned now without teeth, because they had their teeth extracted in February. He's learned how to play with his toys now without having any teeth, which is really sweet. And so he'll play with his toys at night, and then Boo Radley just kind of sits between us and just kind of lays down and moves around and I call it a circle, because he'll get like real tight. And I say, oh, he's getting into his circle. And he's so sweet. And, you know, I think that people that watch my videos on a regular basis think that I'm like happy and positive all the time, which I really try to be, you know. There was a long period of my life where I was very negative, and I saw the glass is half empty instead of half full. I think it's kind of something that goes along with being in like an addict and an alcoholic, and even being in recovery, you know. But there are times that I get real sad too. I was just like bawling my eyes out on my vlog, you know, about some stuff. And I had a friend of mine back in the day, and she used to say, if I can't cry over it, means it didn't mean anything to me. But sometimes, like, happy things make me sad, you know? And ever since Pee-Pee, our Chihuahua, passed away, and I miss that little guy so much. He was my best friend, you know? I really believe on some weird level he was my soulmate. I really, really do. And my friend Tanya said that to me. She said, you know, I don't believe that people necessarily have to be our soulmates. And she had a recovery dog when she first got sober. I think she lived to be about 12 or 13 or 14 that passed. And Tanya said, I think she was my soulmate. And I think Pee-Pee was my soulmate. I really do. And, you know, I love Boo and Tucker so much. I mean, like, they have just made my life so incredible, these little guys. But sometimes when I sit there and I'm holding them at the end of the night, I get so sad because there was a time before, I was actually talking about this on my vlog, before Pee-Pee passed away, that, like, I'm not usually somebody that gets weird about getting older. You know, like, I think about it a lot, and I think about I'm getting older and the things I continue to do, the things I want to do, which I was saying that on my vlog, that I don't really have a lot that I want to do anymore. I don't really have tons on my bucket list. Like, I feel like I've done pretty much most of everything that I've wanted to do in my life. I feel like I live a blessed life, you know? But sometimes, back in the day, like when Pee-Pee was sick, but on a good day, you know, like when he would be running around in the yard and Boo Radley would, you know, follow after him and they'd just be having a great day, I like just wanted to stop time. Like, I just wanted to stop time and just have it be, you know, the five of us forever, Alex and I and Pee-Pee, Boo, and Tucker, and just stop time. And I knew I couldn't do that. But you ever just have like a really, really good day and you think to yourself, I just wish I could stop time? And it's like really the simple things that make me the happiest. So sometimes when I'm the happiest and I'm laying there in bed with like Alex and Boo and Tucker, you know, and I realize that there will be, then my mind goes to, I realize there will be the day when they're not around anymore. And I just get real sad, you know? Time marches on. Things change. People pass. Animals pass away. People move. Relationships end. New ones begin. And the reality is, I really wouldn't want to stop time. I really wouldn't, you know? Because even though I miss the hell out of my dog, we've had some amazing moments since then, you know, in my life that I wouldn't have had I stopped time. Which is, I mean, you can't stop time anyway, right? A little bird just flew over there with a tree. But at the same time, it's like whenever I'm having like a really great moment with my husband, like, people ask a lot on Q&As, like, what would your mom have thought of Alex? And it's so hard because, like, my mom would have loved my husband. She would have loved him. You know, my husband's a dancer. She would have just loved to have, like, stood in the kitchen while he taught her how to salsa, you know? Or, you know, Alex loved to pick out outfits for his friends. Like, you know, my mom loved fashion, and she would have said, come on, Alex, help me pick out something to wear tonight, you know? I can at times almost just like imagine seeing them sitting there having conversations. And Alex's mom is so much like my mom. She's always wanting to have like girls sleepovers and watch Mamma Mia and do face masks and stuff in their pajamas. And my mom would have loved that. My mom would have loved all the cultural aspects of Alex's family. And So it's hard, you know, it's sometimes hard because like those things that make you the happiest are the things that also kind of bring on some sadness because it's hard, you know, those things like those proudest moments that I've had in my life since my mom has gone. Those moments in my life where I'm like, you did this. And I've had some of those moments, you know. I hope that we all have. But those moments where, you know, like you think to yourself like, what a moment. I haven't been able to share that with my mom, you know. So my cousin said to me, I think it was like a year after my aunt had passed away, her mom, and she said, wouldn't you just love like one more day with like our moms and grandma? But I think, like at the time, we don't have the capacity for understanding how important those moments are at that time. So sometimes, like we don't appreciate it as much. I try to turn those into moments of gratitude. It's like recently we went over to my cousin's house for a barbecue. It was Labor Day. We went over there that Sunday for a barbecue, you know. And at the end of the day, we were all sitting outside, and it was my cousin and I and Alex and her husband and her son and her stepson and wife, and we were playing cornhole, which some people call bags, and you know, everybody was just like sitting in a half circle in the driveway, and people were walking by, and I just like sat there in that moment, and I was like, this is a really great moment, you know? Like, this is a really good moment. And I think it's really forced me to not like live in the future. And it's really tried to force me to not live in the past. Although I do a lot. I'm constantly telling memories of my life. Because those are things that have just like made my life, you know? But I'm trying really hard to just live in the present and really enjoy the present. It's hard though, you know? I think it's harder as you get older too, and a lot of the people that made up your life, you know, that are part of the story or know your story aren't here anymore. I think it's hard, you know, because it's like part of my story is gone. Isn't it weird that those things that should make us the happiest sometimes are the things that make us the saddest though, you know? I guess really in the long run, I'm just happy that I was able to experience all of it. I was able to have some just amazing people in my life, you know? But those are my thoughts for today. So that actually really helped talking about it and just getting it out. I'm like looking over here and I'm just thinking to myself, such a blessed life. I think that over and over all the time, it seems like anymore. It's just like, you know, you have such a blessed life. I have such a blessed life. I've had just amazing experiences. I've been able to travel a lot of places. I have dear friends and amazing family. And life goes on. And there's going to be happy days and there's going to be sad days. And there's going to be a lot of in-between days. And I think that for me, it's really about just really appreciating what a gift this thing of life is, you know? Anyway, I love you guys. And I feel really full of gratitude now. This video helped me a lot. So I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.